Viewers might experience poor audio and video quality due to webcast from home. Request you to be patient and check your internet connectivity. Thank you. The topic for today's session is Go Plogging, and to take us through this, we have Mr. Ripu Dhawan. Mr. Ripu Dhawan Devli is a marathoner, solo traveler, entrepreneur, and the founder of Ploggers of India, the objective of which is to build a community focused on fitness with a mission to make India litter-free. Ripu founded Ploggers of India in 2017. Ripu embarked on a journey of running and cleaning up thousands of kilometers across 50 cities of India, the largest cleanup drive were under the campaign of Run the Make India Litter Free. Before starting Plogging of India, Ripu was a successful career in sales and marketing and worked for a few startups. PM Modi acknowledged Ripu's efforts towards Swachh Bharat and Fit India movement while speaking during Mann Ki Baat on 29 September 2019. Ripu, it's a privilege to have you here. I would now like, without any much delay, I would now like to handle Ripu to please take the session ahead.
Well, thank you, Priyanka. Thank you so much.
Rod. Bend down. Pick up. Repeat. Rod. Bend down. Pick up. Repeat. We all crib and complain about so much trash around. Oh, India's so dirty. But who's responsible for it? We ourselves generate so much of waste. From our households, 91% of it goes into rivers, sewers and oceans. So we decided to do something about it. And that's when plogging came into existence. To pick up trash while running is plogging. Hi, I'm Ripu Dhawan, founder of Ploggers of India. We are on a mission to make India litter-free. It's an opportunity for you to do something for the environment and your country while working on your health. Plogging is a comprehensive exercise. 30 minutes of plogging makes you burn way more calories than running. You don't need to be a runner to be a plogger. You can walk, crawl, just show up and clean up. If you're not using single-use plastic, you're a plogger. If you switch to reusable bottles, carry your own jhola, you're a plogger. If you pick up that one piece of litter and put it in a trash bin, you're a plogger. It's that simple. Join us. Together we can make India litter-free.
So good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible. Guys, if I'm not audible, just let me know. But it's such a privilege and an honor to first be invited by Dr. Reddy's to address, I'm being told, healthcare professionals and doctors from across the country. You guys are doing such an amazing job, especially in these difficult times. And I just jumped onto this opportunity and I wanted to just reach out to you and say, first of all, thank you. How much grateful are we all to you for the work that you're doing, the risks that you take every day, and to your families as well, who are bearing all such risks to let you out there and fight this pandemic at the forefront. So a heartfelt thank you. I have no other words. Quickly introducing myself, the whole idea about this talk is to probably give you a little bit about what I do, what my mission is, how this national movement came about, and also how it's, started by one single person and became a national movement where more than 1 crore people have already participated, to probably just give you that motivation that you probably need at this point of time, to say that, okay, there's hope, there's good things are going to happen. And with every effort that you do every day, uh, we will overcome this pandemic and everything will be fine very, very soon. So thank you, Dr. Reddy's, for having me. And thank you once again to all the medical staff, healthcare professionals, whoever that you are, wherever you are. Thank you so much. And at the end of it, if there's any questions, please do put out there through this talk as well, and we will try to take it up. Priyanka, who's a panelist, who will keep pointing me towards those questions. And at the end of it, if you guys want to connect with me, you'll have my coordinates as well. So my name is Ripu Daman Bevli, and I started this mission called Bloggers of India. The slide, as it says, I had a dream to see India litter free, to make India litter free, but it wouldn't happen by just my doing it or my wanting to do it. So I thought I'll create a national movement, but how do I get everyone involved? I thought when you want to make something big happen, it needs to resonate with today's citizenry, today's people. And 65% of India's population is under 35 years of age. So you need to make it cool, to make it interesting for them to get interested in it. So my mission statement was, I wanted to make cleaning up other people's litter the coolest thing to do in India. And then I was also inspired by Gandhiji's philosophy of everyone needs to be their own scavenger. So with these two principles, my own thought or mission, and with Gandhiji's philosophy, we started something called My City, My Responsibility. I'm a runner. I run marathons. And when I used to train in the morning, I used to steal a lot of litter and trash and plastic. And I thought, let's do something about it. I started with my running group. It became a run and cleanup movement 3 years back. And slowly and steadily, as we progressed, we got this cool term called blogging. And that's how Bloggers of India came into existence 3 years back. All right. So that was a short about my journey. The next slide, some cute little pictures of a little boy, a little me. On the left-hand side is my mother kissing me, and I'm pouting. I'm probably 1.5 to 2 years old, I guess. Looks like my birthday. On the second right top picture is my cousin also kissing me, and then there's the boy sitting in the class. So the reason why I'm sharing this picture is that I had a very humble beginning. I come from a very, very middle class family. My mother is a single mother, and whatever that I've learned is from her, right? So, and there's a very cute little story there in the classroom, as you can see. So I was in first standard, and I was a class monitor, and I had a huge crush on this girl in my class. And because I was a class monitor, I couldn't, I was supposed to be prim and proper. But one day I just decided to show my love towards her, because kissing was so normal and I couldn't kiss her at that age. I just sent a flying kiss towards her, and somebody saw me doing it, and it became a major issue in class. So that's a little short story. Let's move ahead to the next slide. Okay, so this is me. Both pictures are me. Both pictures are in 2005. The left picture is 2005 starting, and the right picture is 2005 ending. So that drastic a change. So I was in 12th standard. I completed my 12th schooling and then moved to Nagpur from Delhi. And I wanted to do something drastic. So I just cut my hair short to maybe, it was something that I wanted to do for a long period of time. And there were a lot of stuff that I did during my college. So if you see in this picture, I am not there. And that is basically, we took a trip to Shirdi, and my friends were drinking, and I was a teetotaler, so I never drank. But we were in Shirdi. So the irony of the picture is that we went on a religious trip to Shirdi, and here we are drinking. So yeah, very normal childhood and teenage. Okay, so everything was pretty normal, pretty averagey. But as I moved into college, into the second year, a huge thing happened. I was expelled from college, right? For something that I hadn't done. I was blamed for ragging, and I was expelled. So it's a really long story, but the fact of the matter was that I hadn't really done what they had said I did. And it was a huge blow to me, and I thought my career is over, or my studies is over. But then I took it into my stride. Somehow the expulsion changed into suspension, and within after 6 months. So within those 6 months, there was a lot of introspection that I did. And I always feel that that little boy who went to college, naive little boy, suddenly became a man through that 6 months of expulsion. So I say that became my biggest learning. And suddenly I started looking at life very, very differently. And this was when I was 18, 19 years old. So you can imagine if a child or a teenage boy is expelled at 18, 19 years of age, what all emotions does he go through? Right. So now all said and done, so that was expulsion was in second year. In the fourth year of the same college, once I was taken back into the college, 2 years later, I became the head of the student council of the same college. Now that is a huge transformation, and that required from me a lot of patience and just biding my time and ensuring that I do the right thing as much as I can. The picture that you see on the screen is me in my first job. So I was with Royal Bank of Scotland, and somehow I had again lost the plot. I mean, there was no real motive in life. I didn't know what to do. So this is me, 22, 23 years old, sitting in front of a locked screen just to showcase to you that even the hardest lesson learned can sometimes be just forgotten within a jiffy. Can we move to the next slide? Okay, so from Royal Bank of Scotland and not really having a motive in life, I decided that wasn't my calling. And within 8 months, I left that job without another job, and tried to get into a startup in Bangalore. And this is basically what I did there. I mean, just a representation of it. So this is my team, 10, 15 people of a startup. We going to Coorg. And right now we're neck deep in water, and none of us know what are we doing, what are we trying to do with our life. So I was in that phase of my life still, even though I had joined a startup, but didn't really know what to do with my life. Next slide. Okay, so from there to this picture is about 3 years, actually 4 years. It took a lot of investment of energy, time, effort, thinking about things and putting in a lot of effort, 18, 20-hour work days for 2-3 years. I got into something which was, I could literally say, a high flying career, because I was heading sales and marketing for this MNC for India, whereas I was just 6 years of experience in total, whereas most of my counterparts from across the world were 15, 20 years of experience. So again, a turnaround of sorts in a very short span of time. Move to the next slide, please. Okay, this slide should have been a little earlier. Move to the next slide. But from there, high flying job, again, I was feeling that something's amiss, something's still lacking. And so what I did was I took a sabbatical by the end of 2016 to travel all across the country. So for the next 5 to 6 months, I was pretty much on the road, doing solo travel, doing all sorts of travel. Can we move back to the slide again? Yeah. Doing all sorts of travel across the country and trying to figure out what is it that I'm still missing in life, because I still felt that there was something missing in life. I had done 2 major turnarounds in my life, from being expelled to becoming the head of student council of the same college was a huge transformation. From quitting my first job within 8 months without having a job to actually having a high flying career, knowing what I was doing, working my days of 18, 20 hours, and still not feeling completely up to it. So that sabbatical, I went through that sabbatical, traveled all across India. It's a beautiful country. If you don't want to do anything, just travel across your country. Not right now. It's a bad situation. But at that time I did travel a lot, and it was, I mean, you get to meet a lot of people, get to learn new perspectives, and that's pretty much what I did. So moving on to the next one. So what did I do? I thought I need to probably start completely on my own. I wanted to do something groundbreaking. And I again went back to technology, and I took a technology from the US and built a business here in India for them, in India and Asia Pacific, called, it was a company called Packet Zoom, and they made mobile app technology. So this is, the picture is just a representation that in my head, I was trying to do something groundbreaking. I went to the US to learn technology from them so that I could start building up the business here in India. But we were ultimately drinking, and this is a representation that, again, not necessarily something groundbreaking. So within a year, we'll keep to this slide for now. Within a year, I decided to move out of that as well. The one thing that happened during this period was I started running. So this was late 2016, early 2017, when I started running again, running long distances after an injury of 4-5 years that left me with a limp for that amount of time. So now I could run. So I started running, and as soon as I started running, I started seeing what I mentioned initially was a lot of trash and plastic, and I couldn't ignore it, because when we used to train in the mornings with less people and lesser traffic, I used to observe litter, trash, and plastic, and I saw there were two kinds of people. One who used to see the same things and just ignore it, and the other ones who would just crib and complain and blame the government, the agencies, and everyone, including the neighbors. I thought, isko change karte hain. Let's change this, and let's do something about it, and something which is cool, something which is interesting, and something which can become a national movement. Move to the next slide. Can we move to the next slide? Yeah, the previous one. Yeah, so that's what I decided to do. Basically, I started a community initially called My City, My Responsibility, starting with my running group, and made it a cool down activity for them. So why not just clean up the park, the place that we used to train in? Why just ignore it? That was my question to all of them, and everybody joined in pretty well. And as we moved forward, looking at the response, I started traveling all across the country to actually take this to running groups from different places. And slowly and steadily, we built this up into a national movement. Some of the pictures that you see on screen. So this campaign that I did last year, mid of last year, was called Run to Make India Litter Free. After having done or started Bloggers of India a couple of years back before it, I wanted to do something big bang, something which takes people out of their sleep, and I can take this to each and every nook and corner of this country. So I ran and cleaned up across 50 cities in about 50 days. It's called Run to Make India Litter Free. You can Google it up and get more details. But the idea was that we will take this to each and every city as much as possible, and do something which is path-breaking, groundbreaking. It became an unprecedented campaign because we covered literally 50 cities in as many days, and the government took notice of it. The Prime Minister took notice of it. I was featured on Mann Ki Baat. The Prime Minister one fine day just called me up and tried to understand what we were doing and how we were trying to change people and people's perception towards Swachhta, because the government has this major campaign, as we all know, about Swachh Bharat. But the good part was that what the government saw with Bloggers of India, we combined Fit India and Swachh Bharat mission together. So I think there's a nice video that we're gonna play now, which is with a corporate called Mahindra Sustain. Please go ahead.
Vlogging is picking up trash while running. It's basically a fancy and cool term for cleaning up. Bloggers of India was started in 2017 as a people's movement. हम बहुत बहुत क्रिप करते हैं, complain करते हैं. There is so much of trash. We blame the government, agencies, and everyone else, including our neighbors. 2 crore people in Delhi, single mineral water bottle every day. 91% goes into dumps, sewers, rivers, and oceans, impacting the marine life and ultimately coming back to us and impacting us. Now imagine the same 2 crore Delhiites not using a single-use plastic bottle and carrying their own bottles. Do you think that will create a significant impact?
You know, the best part about that video, if you guys watched it, at the end of it, it said it just takes all of us, all 7 billion plus people that we have on this planet, to just pick up around 658 pieces of litter and trash per person for us to clean up this planet completely. I mean, I can go on and on about what sort of menace is it, but just less than 700 pieces per person, it's not too much, right? And we all can, if we work together, we can actually do this, make this happen. So Priyanka, quick question to you. I see a couple of questions. Do we answer them right now or do we answer them later?
Up to you, Ripu.
All
If
right,
you want
okay.
to take it now, we can.
So I just see one question right now.
Yeah.
Are there any questions or I should read that and answer?
So there's one question. These major turnarounds in one from a middle class family needs a lot of family support and courage. What is your secret and inspiration for this?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. And yeah, I mean, I think that question actually is very close to my heart, primarily because I believe I'm a huge believer of motivation coming from inside. That inspiration, you should be able to self motivate and inspire yourself. And I mean, motivation can come from literally anywhere, right? I mean, people that you see around you. It doesn't have to be, let's say, a Sachin Tendulkar or a prime minister or a Delhi chief minister or any XYZ personality. You can, I mean, if I tell you today, my inspirations are the rack pickers in the morning, because I've been doing this for the last 3 years and they do this on a daily basis. I get, I get demotivated doing this all the time sometimes because there's so much of trash to pick up. And then I look at them and imagine the plight that they go through, and this is their job, they have to do it. So the inspiration can actually come from anywhere. But going back to when I was expelled and other turnarounds of my life, my biggest inspiration, or my only inspiration in this entire lifetime, is my mother. She's a single mother, and she's done a lot of sacrifices to get both her children up. Me, and I have a younger sister who's now married. So whenever I used to screw up, I persevered. I ensured that I make that right. And it was the inspiration came from her, that I need to make her happy, make her proud. And you will see a couple of pictures later on in this slideshow as well, where it was a huge proud moment for me when my mother was there to receive the honor on my behalf when I was announced the Fit India ambassador. But we'll come back to that later. So hope that answers your question. Of course, an 18-year-old, 19-year-old boy might not be able to have that perspective. But I always was inspired by my mother, and I have always wanted to make her happy. And if I was screwing up, I wanted to make that right for her. So I always persevered. And one more thing, that when the chips are down, always remember, like for example, the current situation right now, that this is the bottommost. We can't go any more bottom or any lower. We can go only higher and upwards from there. Always remember that, and just have patience and persevere. I hope that answers. Any more questions, Priyanka?
Ripu, I think we'll take it at the end. Let's just finish.
Okay. All right. So first of all, the topic right now is, can we go back? Yeah. Beat plastic pollution to save your health and the environment. Okay. That's my favorite topic. And one of the first things that I'm going to say, which might surprise a lot of people, is when we hear beat plastic pollution, don't think plastic is the villain. I'm sorry, no one particular material or anything can be the villain. The real villain is our humans, we humans, the single use and throw attitude that we have. So single use anything is bad for the environment, not just single use plastic. So styrofoam, thermocol, some of these materials are even worse because they degrade even in longer time than what plastic does. So hypothetically, if plastic takes one kind of plastic takes 2,500 years, styrofoam and thermocol takes much longer. So no one particular thing is a real menace. It's our habit of single use and throw. So let's change that. So anything that you do in your life, so for example, plastic bottles, single-use plastic bottles or straws, anything single use is bad. Let's change that, because I've already explained in a couple of videos earlier that all of that goes into dumps, landfills, impacts our water sources, the groundwater sources, and goes into the oceans and impacts the marine life. All of that combining to come back to us and impacting the human life. The next slide. Okay. All right, you guys are very well aware of it, and I don't want to. I'm not an expert in this field, but I think one particular thing that a lot of people are missing right now is the bio waste that is now coming out of homes, because now households, individuals are using masks and gloves on a regular basis. Suddenly, there's this huge waste that is coming out of the household itself. Now, a lot of these, especially in these times where 80% of the cases I've heard in India are asymptomatic, the new cases that are coming out are asymptomatic. So there could be people out there sitting at home having some sort of coronavirus symptoms and not really knowing about it. So using masks and gloves and spitting, coughing, sneezing into the mask, which means the masks have the virus as well, and we don't know how to dispose it off. It's very important that households today understand that we are creating biomedical waste literally, and we need to dispose it off well. So it's a request to all you healthcare professionals out there that this is something that you guys need to make your patients aware and people around you aware, that how to dispose of biomedical waste from the households. First of all, they need to be kept separate. If I can give whatever little inputs that I can, they need to be kept separate from the dry and wet waste that we generate, segregate. And then we need to tell the sanitation workers as well to be careful of it. They and municipalities and corporations should tell their sanitation workers how to take care of it as well. So this is like a multi-part exercise that we all have to do to ensure that this risk is not increased and people are not picking up the pandemic. Secondly, because I talked about surgical masks, one of the things that not a lot of people are talking about is like materials like surgical masks and plastic are one of the most conducive environments for this coronavirus. I read the Lancet report that a coronavirus the strain can stay up to 7 days on surgical masks and plastic, whereas it immediately dies on a material like copper and other such materials. So again, and why am I bringing up plastic here? Because when I switch on my TV and look at the news channels, a lot of these journalists have started covering their microphones, their mics with plastic. And even if they don't promote it, I, as a normal user, a normal watcher of TV without having a lot of knowledge, will just connect the dots in my head and say, okay, they're covering their mics with plastic, which means this is how it should be. We can wrap everything with plastic and it should be fine. Absolutely not. Everything needs to be sanitized. In fact, plastic is one of the most conducive environment for this virus. So it's a request to all of you that please, this is an important message. Please give out to everyone you can, because when it comes from you, it will definitely be heard. Next slide. Okay, so that was what I wanted to say. And if you guys have any questions or any inputs on that, please do let me know and increase my knowledge as well. The more we share, the more appropriate knowledge we share, not the WhatsApp school of knowledge, the better it is for all of us. So there are multiple trends that I've created during my journey. One is the trash workout. Like I spoke about, I wanted to make cleaning up other people's litter the coolest thing to do in India. And I decided to connect it with fitness. I wanted to take the fitness route towards cleanliness. And that's why we created a holistic workout called Trash Workout. So we give these trainings and workshops to kids, teenagers, adults. The youngest participant that I've had in my blogging drive was about 4 years old. And the oldest participant was around 82. So anybody can do it. And it's a holistic fitness workout. You do squats, lunges, side lunges, forward bends. And once you've picked up the bag and you've filled it up completely, you can do bicep curls, you can do triceps, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of workout that you can do. Next slide. All right. So apart from fitness, I created this cool social media campaign, and I put that as an online petition now. It's called Plastic Upvas. So basically, there's so much of single use and plastic around us. People get overwhelmed when we start talking about it. So I gave them a simple mantra that just shun one single use item from your life and make that your plastic upvas. So what's your plastic upvas? So for example, I tell people that I haven't been using single-use plastic bottles forever. It's been many years since I have not used the single-use plastic bottles. Even earlier in the 90s when I was born, people used to carry their own bottles, right? We can still do that. So that is one thing that I keep telling people. It's something which is very cool. And if you guys want to take it up as well, please do. Please use your social media handles to use the hashtag Plastic Upvas and tell me what's that one single-use item thing that you will completely shun from your life. It could be straws, plastic bottles, it could be polythene and plastic bags, tissue papers, anything that generates waste, single-use, that you will completely shun from your life. Next slide. Okay. All right. So a lot of people ask me that you're on this mission to make India litter free. And there are 1.3 billion Indians out there. Not everyone's going to get involved into your cleanup activity. And if everyone does not, then how do you make it happen? How do you make India litter free? I mean, I can tell you till date, we have close to 1 crore people participating in this Bloggers of India movement across more than hundreds of cities and towns and townships across the country. But I give them a standard 3 steps to a litter-free India solution or formula. And I say it's the most simplest thing that you can do. By just following this, you're contributing towards a litter-free India. I'll give you those. And if you find it easy or difficult, just let me know in the comment section. Step number 1, put your litter in a trash bin only. Step number 2, if you see something lying on the road, pick it up and put it in a trash bin. Step number 3, if you don't see a trash bin, keep your litter in your pocket, in your car, take it back home, segregate into dry and wet waste, and give it to the municipality that comes to your doorstep tomorrow. Just these 3 steps. It's that simple. Imagine if 1.3 billion Indians, all of us, follow these 3 steps, we will see a litter-free India. It's become that simple, right? So if you feel that simple or difficult, let us know in the comment section. Next slide. All right. One of the things that I do during my drives is to take the pledge to a Swachh Bharat, because everything that we do should not be lost And I think what we take by the end of anything, that is what remains with us for the longest time. So I take this very simple pledge, and it was very similar to the 3 steps that I spoke about. So we will take that. Let me just quickly see if there are any more questions that we, oh yeah, there are a lot of questions. So, okay, so let's just quickly take the pledge. So all of you guys who are out there, I want you to take your hand up, right hand up, and cross your heart. That whatever that we say right now, we will stick to it to the best of our abilities. We will follow it to the T. And I assure you, it is not difficult. I assure you, I won't ask you to do something which is too taxing or too difficult to follow. Priyanka, quick question. Should we do this in Hindi or English?
I think we can do it in English.
Okay, yeah, because we have people from all across the country.
All across the country, exactly.
All right, okay. So let's start. What I will do is I will start with my name. Like I said, right hand, cross your heart, and just follow what I say. I'll give you a little bit of time, although I can't hear you, but it's important for you guys to pledge what I just pledged right now. So here it starts. I, Ripu Daman. Hey Priyanka, do you want to unmute yourself and maybe just follow me, and that might become...
Definitely.
Okay, let's start again. I, Ripu Daman.
I, Priyanka Hira.
Take this pledge.
Take this pledge.
That I will put my litter.
That I will put my litter.
In a trash bin only.
In a trash bin only.
Wherever I go.
Wherever I go.
I will carry my own jhola.
I will carry my own jhola.
And say no to polythene.
And say no to polythene.
And plastic bags.
And plastic bags.
Wherever I go.
Wherever I go.
I will carry my own water bottle.
I will carry my own water bottle.
And say no to single-use plastic bottles.
And say no to single-use plastic bottles.
And say no to all kinds of straws.
And say no to all kinds of straws.
And because of all of this.
And because of all of this.
I will make my country.
I will make my country.
My India.
My India.
Litter free.
Litter free.
And the cleanest country in the world.
And the cleanest country in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so that was the pledge. I hope all of you guys followed it. And if there are any questions or anything, please do let us know. Moving on to the next slide. Yeah, so we just spoke about it in the pledge as well. I say straws are stupid. Why? Because, let me ask you this question. Guys, am I visible?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can see you.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so, so straws are stupid because this question goes, we drink all sorts of milkshakes, smoothies, lassi, nimbu pani at home. Do we ever think about a straw at home? I think most of the answers will be no. So that we take a step outside of our homes, we need straws and everything. That's why I say straws are stupid. So I hope you guys got what I wanted to convey there. Moving on to the next slide. So that is something. So basically, some of these pictures are also to showcase how this movement has grown. So this was Kota, one of the last cities that I visited. This was back in January this year, where I also did the longest blogging drive. I created a world record for the longest blogging drive of 50 kilometers in about 9 hours and 15 minutes. So I got this invite from the runners community there. They were organizing an event and they said, we want to create a blogging event and we want to invite you. It was overwhelming with the kind of reception that I got there. And within a day of announcing the event, there were 500 people who just turned up for the event. And all of them pledged for Swachh Bharat, pledged for all of the things that we just discussed. And I keep getting messages from them. So basically, what I started as a solo person, or trying when people didn't really join in. Here we are, and people are joining in from across the country. This is Jammu. This is Jammu University, where close to 500 teenagers and athletes of the Jammu University joined in, and we cleaned up the campus. There was no housekeeping staff or anybody there that day. It was all the athletes and students of the university who taken part in that drive. Next slide, please. Yeah, so that is the picture that I was talking about. Basically, that's my mother receiving the Fit India Ambassador Award title, or the Flogging Ambassador of India, as it got put into the general knowledge books on December 2019 last year, from the Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju. That's the certificate, and I mean that's such a happy moment for me, and a proud moment, because I saw that twinkle in my mother's eyes. And like I said, she's my only inspiration. She's the only inspiration that I have. Yes, I get inspired from a lot of people. I feel motivation also comes from inside. But yeah, if there's one single inspiration, that's her. And she was proud that day. All right, moving to the next slide.
एक बड़ा ही अनोखा अभियान चलाया है। उनके इस काम पर मेरा ध्यान गया, तो मैंने उनसे फोन पर बात करके उनके इस नए प्रयोग को जानने समझने की कोशिश की। हो सकता है उनकी ये बातें देश के और लोगों को भी काम आए। श्रीमान रिपु दमन बेल्वी जी एक अनोखा प्रयास कर रहे हैं। वे प्लॉगिंग करते हैं। जब पहली बार मैंने प्लॉगिंग शब्द सुना तो मेरे लिए भी नया था। विदेशों में तो शायद ये शब्द कुछ मात्रा में उपयोग हुआ है, लेकिन भारत में रिपु दमन बेल्वी जी ने इसको बहुत ही प्रचारित किया है। आइए उनसे कुछ बातें करते हैं। हेलो रिपु दमन जी, नमस्कार। मैं नरेंद्र मोदी बोल रहा हूँ।
जी सर, बहुत बहुत थैंक यू सर।
रिपु दमन जी,
हाँ जी सर।
आप जो ये प्लॉगिंग को लेकर के इतना बड़ा समर्पित भाव से काम कर रहे हैं,
जी सर,
तो मेरे मन में जिज्ञासा थी, तो मैंने सोचा मैं खुद ही फोन करके आपसे पूछूं, ये कल्पना कहाँ से आई आपके मन में? ये शब्द और ये तरीका कैसे मन में आया?
सर, युवाओं को आज कुछ कूल चाहिए, कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग चाहिए उनको मोटिवेट करने के लिए। तो मैं तो मोटिवेट हो गया। अगर मेरे को 130 करोड़ भारतीयों को इस मुहिम में जोड़ना है तो मुझे कुछ कूल करना था, कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग करना था। तो मैं खुद एक रनर हूँ, तो सुबह जब हम रन करते हैं तो ट्रैफिक कम होता है, लोग कम होते हैं, तो कूड़ा और ट्रैश और प्लास्टिक सबसे ज्यादा दिखता है। तो इंस्टेड ऑफ क्रिपिंग एंड कंप्लेनिंग, मैंने सोचा कि इसके बारे में कुछ करते हैं और अपने रनिंग ग्रुप के साथ स्टार्ट किया दिल्ली में, और फिर पूरे भारत में इसको लेकर गया। हर जगह से काफी अप्रिसिएशन मिला।
एग्जैक्टली आप क्या करते हैं, थोड़ा समझाइए ताकि मुझे भी ध्यान में आए और मन की बात के माध्यम से देशवासियों को भी पता चले।
सर, तो हमने ये स्टार्ट किया रन एंड क्लीन अप मूवमेंट, जहाँ पे हम रनिंग ग्रुप्स को उनके वर्कआउट के बाद उनकी कूल डाउन एक्टिविटी में हमने बोला आप कूड़ा उठाना स्टार्ट करो, अपना प्लास्टिक उठाना स्टार्ट करो। तो आप रनिंग कर रहे हो, आप क्लीनिंग अप कर रहे हो, सडनली बहुत सारी एक्सरसाइज ऐड हो रही है। तो आप जस्ट रनिंग नहीं कर रहे हो, अब आप स्क्वाट्स कर रहे हो, डीप स्क्वाट्स कर रहे हो, लंजेस कर रहे हो, आप फॉरवर्ड बेंच कर रहे हो। तो वो होलिस्टिक वर्कआउट हो गया। और आपको जान के खुशी होगी कि पिछले साल काफी सारी फिटनेस मैगजीन्स ने इंडिया का टॉप फिटनेस ट्रेंड इसको नॉमिनेट किया या इसको
आपको बधाई है इस बात के लिए।
धन्यवाद सर।
तो अभी आपने 5 सितंबर से कोची से शुरू किया है?
जी सर, इस मिशन का नाम है RLAN रन टू मेक इंडिया लिटर फ्री। जैसे आपने अक्टूबर 2 को एक हिस्टोरिक वर्डिक्ट देना है, एंड आई एम श्योर कूड़ा मुक्त होगा तो प्लास्टिक मुक्त भी होगा, एंड वो एक इंडिविजुअल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आएगी। और तो आई एम रनिंग एंड क्लीनिंग अप 1000 किलोमीटर्स कवरिंग 50 सिटीज। तो सबने बताया कि शायद दुनिया की लॉन्गेस्ट क्लीन अप ड्राइव होगी। और इसके साथ साथ हम एक बहुत ही कूल सर सोशल मीडिया हैशटैग यूज किया है हमने, हैशटैग प्लास्टिक उपवास, जहाँ पे हम लोगों को बोल रहे हैं कि आप हमें बताइए आप कौन सी एक सिंगल चीज है, सिंगल यूज एनीथिंग, नॉट जस्ट सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक बट सिंगल यूज एनीथिंग, जो आप कंप्लीटली अपनी लाइफ से हटा देंगे।
वाह, आप 5 सितंबर से निकले हो, तो क्या अनुभव है आप तक का आपका?
सर, अभी तक तो बहुत अच्छा अनुभव रहा है। पिछले 2 साल में भी हमने 300 के आसपास प्लॉगिंग ड्राइव्स की हैं ऑल ओवर इंडिया। तो हमने जब कोची से स्टार्ट किया तो रनिंग ग्रुप्स ने ज्वाइन किया। वहाँ के लोकल जो क्लीनअप्स होते हैं उनको मैंने अपने साथ जोड़ा। कोची के बाद मदुरई, कोयम्बतूर, सेलम, अभी हमने उडुपी में किया। वहाँ पे एक स्कूल इनवाइट आया, तो छोटे छोटे बच्चे सर 3rd स्टैंडर्ड से लेकर 6th स्टैंडर्ड तक उनको एक वर्कशॉप देने के लिए बुलाया था मेरे को आधे घंटे के लिए। और वो आधे घंटे का वर्कशॉप 3 घंटे का प्लॉगिंग ड्राइव हो गया सर, बिकॉज बच्चे इतने एंथुजियास्टिक थे दैट दे वांटेड टू डू दिस एंड दे वांटेड टू टेक इट बैक और अपने पेरेंट्स को बताना, अपने नेबर्स को बताना, अपने पेयर्स को बताना। तो वो सबसे बड़ा मोटिवेशन होता है हमारे लिए इसको नेक्स्ट लेवल पे लेकर जाना।
रिपु जी, परिश्रम नहीं है, एक साधना है। सचमुच में आप साधना कर रहे हैं। मेरी तरफ से बहुत बधाई देता हूं। लेकिन मान लीजिए आपको 3 बातें देशवासियों को कहनी है, तो ऐसी 3 बातें स्पेसिफिक क्या संदेश देंगे आप?
मैं एक्चुअली 3 स्टेप्स देना चाहूंगा टू अ लिटर फ्री इंडिया, टू अ कूड़ा मुक्त भारत। स्टेप नंबर 1, कूड़ा कूड़ेदान में डालें सिर्फ। स्टेप नंबर 2, कोई भी आपको कूड़ा दिखता है जमीन पे उसको उठाएं और कूड़ेदान में डालें। स्टेप नंबर 3, अगर कूड़ादान नहीं दिखता है अपनी जेब में रखें, अपनी गाड़ी में रखें, घर लेकर जाएं, सेग्रीगेट करें इनटू ड्राई एंड वेट वेस्ट और सुबह म्यूनिसिपैलिटी की गाड़ी आएगी उनको दे दें। अगर हम ये 3 स्टेप्स फॉलो करेंगे, वी विल सी अ लिटर फ्री इंडिया, हमें कूड़ा मुक्त भारत मिलेगा।
देखिए रिपु जी, बहुत सरल शब्दों में और सामान्य मानवी कर सके उस भाषा में आपने एक प्रकार से गांधी जी के सपने को लेकर के चल रहे हैं, साथ साथ गांधी जी की जो सरल शब्दों में बात बताने का तरीका था वो भी आपने अडॉप्ट कर लिया है, इसलिए आप बधाई के पात्र हैं। रिपु दमन जी, आपसे बात कर करके मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा और आपने एक बहुत ही इनोवेटिव तरीके से और खास करके नौजवानों को पसंद आए उस तरीके से इस पूरे कार्यक्रम को ढाला है। मैं आपको बहुत बधाई देता हूं। और साथियों, इस बार पूज्य बापू की जयंती के अवसर पर खेल मंत्रालय भी फिट इंडिया प्लॉगिंग रन का आयोजन करने जा रहा है। 2 अक्टूबर को 2 किलोमीटर प्लॉगिंग पूरे देश भर में यह कार्यक्रम होने वाले हैं। ये कार्यक्रम कैसे करना चाहिए, कार्यक्रम में क्या होता है, ये रिपु दमन जी के अनुभव से हमने सुना है। 2 अक्टूबर से शुरू होने वाले इस अभियान में हम सबको ये करना है कि हम 2 किलोमीटर तक जॉगिंग भी करें और रास्ते में पड़े प्लास्टिक के कचरों को भी जमा करें। इससे हम न केवल अपनी सेहत का ख्याल रखेंगे बल्कि धरती माँ की सेहत की भी रक्षा कर सकेंगे। इस अभियान से लोगों में फिटनेस के साथ साथ स्वच्छता को लेकर भी जागरूकता बढ़ रही है। मुझे विश्वास है कि 130 करोड़ देशवासी इस दिशा में एक कदम उठाएंगे तो सिंगल यूज प्लास्टिक की मुक्त होने की दिशा में अपना भारत 130 करोड़ कदम आगे बढ़ जाएगा। रिपु दमन जी, फिर एक बार आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद और आपको, आपकी टीम को और ये नई कल्पकता के लिए मेरी तरफ से बहुत बहुत बधाई। थैंक यू।
Great. So that was the Man Ki Baat that happened on September 29th. While I was on my campaign, and we were cleaning up across 50 cities, and like I said, one fine day the Prime Minister just called up, and we spoke about what I am doing, and then they adopted it as the government mission as well under the Fit India umbrella, which is under the Sports Ministry. But I think what's most important is that I mean, if you just look at that video and you'll suddenly see that this guy has been talked about all over the country, but we were doing our work for the last 3 years almost. I mean, I'm not a very social media savvy person, so there wasn't much that we were doing on social media. But yeah, when I started getting these calls from the government, they did a lot of their work to figure out what we were doing. And the Sports Authority of India got involved. They started joining our drives as well. And they got to know the kind of work that we do. And that's when the Prime Minister call happened. And since then, we've been working with the government. But most importantly, the mission still remains, the dream still remains. We want to see India litter free, and we work towards it on a daily basis. Priyanka, can I take the questions now?
Sure, Ripu. So there are a few questions So one we have from Ravi. He asks that blogging is a comparatively very new concept in India. So did you face any challenges initially while you started your work?
Okay, right. So, look, I wanted to make this a cool concept, an interesting concept, so that people will join in. So, if you look at it, I was actually trying to change the overall mindset or the perception of people towards cleanup. We don't believe this is our litter. We don't believe it is our responsibility, but very well it is our responsibility, right? But when you tell people or ask people to come and join for a cleanup, probably people will not turn up. Now when you tell them to come and join a plogging drive, they do, right? And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to make it cool, look cool, sound cool, and that's what we've been able to achieve over the last couple of years. Now, yes, the goal still remains, which is to see India litter free, and I am in it for the long haul. I am going to do this. This is my life mission. But this was just a tool that I use to get people involved, to make it look cool and sound cool. And yes, initially it is always a challenge, and that's why I started with that picture of my starting alone, because when I try to get people involved, people were not coming in. Even people who promise that they will join will not necessarily join. And there was one more reason why I started alone. I'll tell you why, because I wanted to see if because I knew a lot of people who wanted to do something like this. So what sort of challenges do they face when they want to start alone or when they're starting alone? The first and foremost was the societal perception, right? That this is not your responsibility. This is not your job. This is a manual scavenger's job or a rack picker's job, whatever terms we use for them. And the first thing that I changed or wanted to change was, when we see these people in the morning cleaning up, we call them kachre wala. And I used to start my drive saying, they are not kachre wala, they are safai wala, we are kachre wala, because we are throwing the litter. We are littering our place. So we are the kachre walas and they are safai wala. So first was trying to change the perception, and that can only happen when you start alone and learn about these things. The second was your own apprehension, because when the society sees you like that, there are a lot of questions that everyone's asking, and obviously your mind works subconsciously to say, okay, everyone's looking at me, they're thinking I'm mad. So your own apprehension sometimes stop you from doing it. Third, I realized during the course was that a lot many times I was chased by dogs and monkeys, and I literally ran for my life, right? So if you have a group, if you have a community, it becomes much easier to overcome all of these perceptual challenges. So yeah, that's why I started alone, and it took a lot of time to start up, but we are on our way. A long way to go, but yes. Next question, Priyanka.
Thanks, Ripu. So do you want to scale this up with the help of a celebrity maybe in future?
Say that again.
Do you want to scale this up, scale up blogging with the help of any celebrity in upcoming future?
That's honestly, that's the question that I received. I haven't been asked that question before, but look, I believe what we are doing. So a lot many times I've been made the superhero or the hero, but I'll tell you that there are two things that I want to say here. One is that whatever that we are doing is very common sense, where it should be, it's social responsibility of everyone to do it, to take care of their litter. And I told you 3 steps to a litter free country. It's that simple. So it's that common sense, right? So if we all start doing it, the second point that I am working towards is that people like me should not be required. We become redundant. When everyone becomes responsible, what are we going to clean up, right? So that's what I'm working towards. So, and because people don't do it, people don't have that mindset today. Yes, people like me become heroes. But look, we're all doing what is common sense, and all of us should follow it. So yeah, I mean, if a celebrity wants to come on board, we're more than happy. In fact, I've worked with, and a lot of people have gotten in touch with me and worked with me from Bollywood, from Olympians for that matter. I have actually done workshops for Olympic and Commonwealth and Asian Games gold medalists, and they've come up to me and they said this is like the best thing that we've done, even though we've won medals, gold medals for the country at Asian Games, Commonwealth Games, but this was something that we had never done, and this gave us the most satisfaction, right? So that is huge for me, and so that's why I've never looked at a celebrity like that. But of course, we worked with a lot of Bollywood people, a lot of Olympians, a lot of such people who are well known in their fields.
Great. You are a true hero, totally, Ripu. I agree with that. So there is another question. Don't you think this is more of a mindset issue of our people along with challenges of lack of education?
Oh, absolutely. It is the mindset. So we're not just cleaning up litter on the road, we are cleaning up the litter which is here. And that's why I gave you certain examples of people calling rack pickers. We all do, right? And some of us don't even want to do that. Right? We're not condescending. We're not looking down upon people, but that's how the society views them. Everyone's called a katrewala. And so it's important to respect people for their job, irrespective of whatever that they're doing. So one is we're trying to do that. B, we're trying to change the perception or mindset that, look, this is your house is not just limited to 4 walls. Your house is this country. The surrounding, at least that is around your house itself, is also your house. So you need to keep your surrounding litter free. You can't be sitting in your car, eating a chips packet and throwing the chips packet out. You can't be sitting at home, ordering takeaways or ordering food from online. And once you've consumed all of that food, just throw it out because, look, I need to keep my house clean. No, the house is not just the 4 walls. It's the entire country. It's your surroundings. So be mindful of that. And there are, you need to do dry waste and wet waste segregation and all of those things. So that's what we're trying to change in a cool way. And I'll tell you, one of the biggest things that I've learned, or which is my foundation to do everything that I do, I believe, when you bend down to pick up somebody else's litter, you will not litter again. That is the only thing that we need, right? When you don't litter, when 1.3 billion Indians don't litter, we will be able to clean up whatever is littered till date. Yeah.
Thank you, Ripu. So you had mentioned in your talk that your mother has been your inspiration throughout. So when you told her about blogging and you want to do this, what was her reaction and how did she encourage you?
I mean, it all happened gradually, of course. I guess, and I hope, and I believe that she trusts me in everything that I do. And she's seen me do a lot of things. And she's, being a single mother, of course, she's very, very productive. B, she's a typical, say, Indian mother, right? So they're just protective, right? They will, anything that you want to do in life, they will tell you that you need to go the mundane way. You need to go the tried and tested route. But over the years, I think she's come to, or at least come to terms with the fact that my choices will never be run of the mill stuff. I will always try to do something which is groundbreaking. And I wanted to give back to Mother Nature and my country. I am in deep love with this country. I believe this is the most amazing country in the world, irrespective of whatever is happening over the last several years and decades. The kind of diversity that this country has, and we're still able to survive, I think that is just nothing short of a miracle. And for Mother Earth and nature, I mean, I'm in deep love. My mother's she was working for Archaeological Survey of India, and she used to make us travel all over the country when we were children. And all the lessons that I learned, like carry your own jhola, carry your own bottle always, all have come from her itself, right? So when I started blogging, and obviously I bootstrapped this mission for the last 3 years, I did not want to reach out. And the question of that celebrity also made sense, because I have never reached out to anyone, including the government or any organization, to support us. I always believe that you should do your work to the best of your ability with your passion, and let other people see your work, follow you for whatever right you do, for whatever good you do, and then be a part of it. That's how the government happened. That's how so many other people, the celebrities happen. during this campaign. But my mission is to involve 1.3 billion Indians. Yes, she still cares about my financials. She still cares about where am I getting my financials from, because it's still bootstrapped. We've still not come to a place where we are financially sustaining it. I sustain this movement myself financially, but I'm hoping that as we grow, as this movement grows, we've already touched 1 crore people. There will be more and more people, organizations like-minded, who will come and support our mission. And with all of their help and with the government involved, everyone involved, we will make India litter free one day.
Thanks, Ripu. We'll take this last question. How do you want to introduce plogging in corporates and plogging at home as well?
Okay. So this is a very relevant question, especially in this lockdown. So I started a concept called home plog, because now that we can't go out and do the trash workout and go plogging and clean up our marketplaces, why not kids, teenagers, youngsters share responsibility with their parents and clean up the house while working on their health, while working on fitness. So I've created these modules for home plog, which Fit India and me are putting out there on our social media handles. So you can follow me, Plogman of India, on Twitter and Instagram. And we continuously put these videos out there. We started last week and we will continue to put these out there. I want to especially involve with the corporates, because they have a lot of say with their employees, right? Especially the HRs, as HRs under their employee engagement and CSR activities. I really want to get them involved so that we can reach out to a really large audience. Just by getting one corporate, I can reach out to thousands of employees across the country, across the world maybe as well, and take our message of a Fit India, of a Swachh Bharat to each one of them, how each one of them can contribute towards this. So if there are corporates who are seeing this and who would want to reach out to me, those are my coordinates, including my email ID, ploggersofindia@gmail.com, that I can definitely, we can definitely connect. And Priyanka, there was a comment as well, if I'm not mistaken, regarding disposal of biomedical waste by a doctor. Do you want me to go through that so that everyone?
Sure.
Okay. I think it's important, and that's why I'm taking this up, because I've spoken about it. And Dr. Rupanjan Roy, thank you for sharing it. So you mentioned, as you share your views regarding disposal of medical waste, I just want to share my views through this platform. We've seen 3 color codes of medical waste. One is red, second is black, third is yellow. So sharp instruments should be preferably disposed of in black bags, plastics in yellow, and waste requiring autoclave in red. Puncture proof, one second, and puncture proof containers in blue. And the waste from all colored bags should go for incineration, which is basically burning. So thank you, Dr. Roy, for sharing that information. And I guess most of the people on this call would have gotten that. If there are any further questions, like I said, those are my coordinates, or you all can reach out to me. I think that's about it from my side. I hope I'm not missing out anything, Priyanka.
No, Ripu, thank you so much for taking us through your wonderful journey. You have for sure changed our perspective about picking up litter and cleaning up our city and made it really, really cool to do. Thank you so much. So on behalf of Dr. Reddy's, I would like to thank Mr. Ripu Daman to take out time and take us through his amazing journey. Also would like to thank all our participants to join in. I'm sure all these webinars are benefiting you in some way or the other. So I would like to sign off by saying, stay fit, stay clean, stay healthy, because good health can't wait. Thank you so much.